Welcome back to the Vanguardian Voices. I'm your podcast manager, Yasir, and it's just me starting it out today. You're going to hear a few more people later on into the episode, but first, I want to give us a warm welcome back after our little long weekend. And for this week's issue, which I believe is issue 5 or 6, I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but I think it's issue 5. For issue 5, we have 4 news articles. We have the U.S. government shutdown. So it's covering a little bit about why the U.S. government shut down, and it is still currently shut down. And for our second article, we have a article regarding New York City's infrastructure. And then we have another article talking about CUNY's immigration assistance progress. And then we have another article discussing the New York City Attorney General related stuff. And then for our features article, we have a general interest meeting for MEHSA. For arts, we have Monet in Venice in the Brooklyn Museum. We have 3 wonderful articles from the opinion section: Myth-Busting RFK, Book Review 107 Days. And for our third article, it's the Dystopian Society. And then for 3 sports articles, we have the CAP profile, WNBA commissioner issues, and of course, to wrap it all up, some recaps. So without further ado, before we get into our fancy interview today and our fun little segment later on, we're going to be skipping our special segments. So we will be looking forward to the audience sending us some comments and some concerns or some topics or comments on anything they want in our next episode, which is next week. So be on the lookout for that poll. But for now, thank you and enjoy the rest of the podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to the Vanguardian Voices. I'm your host, Yasir. I'm the podcast manager, so you already know me. I'm going to go down on my right. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
It's Mia Blue 24.
Yeah.
Vana.
On soundboard.
Anastasia.
Welcome back to episode number 6, 5. Wait.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Here's 5. If you already heard that voice, then you already know who's in here. Give it up, give it up, give it up. We have some special guests. We're going to do a nice little interview and then a fun little segment after. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, starting with our EIC.
Okay. It's Rami.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Fun. And then we have...
Who we got?
It's Jaida.
Yeah. I love yous.
Oh my God.
Welcome. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. I really appreciate y'all coming in. It's a busy week. We have a conversion day. Some of us have midterms. I have a midterm tomorrow. Rami just had a midterm. What's the feeling?
And I failed it.
It's so no food?
Oh, food? Oh, no, probably not. Yeah, I told them that if I did
sad.
good, I would buy them food. Yeah, we're starving.
Oh,
we're starving.
no,
The
Jaida.
plate is now empty.
No food for us. Well, everybody, how was your weekend? We all had a long weekend. What did we do?
I don't remember what I did yesterday.
Oh, that's real.
That's real.
I honestly took time and slept.
Yeah, same.
Good. So, what did y'all do?
Ooh, there was a lot of rain. Definitely spent some time indoors.
Yes, cozy.
You know, under a blanket.
Yes.
All cuddled up, listening to the pitter patter.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Study for the midterm that I failed. Definitely that.
Okay, and this is perfect segue to talk to you guys. We have this little special where every time we have a new EIC and a new managing editor, we bring them on the podcast and we ask them a few questions just so everybody can get to hear who these people are. I mean, you know, we see face, we see name, but they got to hear your voices. And so I kind of want to start with, what's the history? What you guys do in the Vanguard to come to where you are today? Give us a little timeline, a little walk through your past, and yeah, take it away.
I'll start. I joined in January of 2024, so like that spring semester. Started as a staff writer. I'm a journalism major, so I obviously knew about the Vanguard, but I didn't make the time to join yet. I was still kind of figuring my way out around like campus and whatnot. But I joined as a staff writer that semester. I wrote like a good amount of pieces. Kate was the editor-in-chief at the time. Love Kate. That's Mother Vanguard right there. That's my Mother Vanguard. At the end of that semester, Kate had asked me if I would like to step in as arts editor, which was really like, I felt so seen. Like you know when you feel like seen, like I felt seen. Yeah. So I did that for like 2 semesters and then had a great conversation with Paulina and then managing editor Rami, and I got promoted to managing editor. Hey. So it's been really fun. I feel like I've had a really fun career with the Vanguard. Mm-hmm. Definitely got to do a lot of pieces, lots of fun things, and I feel like I got to see like every stage of like being in the Vanguard, like what it means to really work your way up. So yeah.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Love that. So I had a bit of a different story. So I started off my first semester freshman year. I started off as a staff writer. I made a little bit of a mark. I like to say I made a mark because I wrote 11 out of the 12 pieces in that semester. So I definitely, and for free, which is saying something. But I did it with so much pure love. I distributed every day after classes, after every issue. It was really exciting. It was under editor-in-chief Serene at the time, and thankfully after that semester finished I was given the option between features or opinions editor, and I gladfully took the opinions editor role, and I was there for 2 semesters, all of 2024, and that is when Kate and Paulina offered me the managing editor role. Ooh. It was a really, really exciting experience. I learned so much under Paulina and taking on a new leadership experience where I've never had something like that, like to that extent, of course. And then after that, of course, once the editor-in-chief graduates, managing editor rises up and takes on that role. Yes. And that's where I came in. And now I'm editor-in-chief, and I've never been the boss of something before. I have people listen to me. And so it's really exciting where I'm finally in a position where I'm able to do some good and finally have a full circle moment and help the staff writers like how the editor-in-chiefs helped me when I was a staff writer.
Yeah, and I mean, just to offer some perspective, I mean, they're new, so Anastasia, everyone else here is new, so it's kind of us as the OGs right now. So I want everybody to like hear and like understand this, that like when I first came in, I remember Rami first starting out as his opinions editor. He took that stuff so powerfully. Like he really pushed forward and wrote amazing articles. And then Jaida, I wrote a little bit of the art stuff, so she was awesome. She was so supportive when I first joined the Vanguard. I joined in my sophomore year. Paulina actually pulled me in because we took a class. We were in the same area, like kind of the vicinity of our classes, and so we kind of just got along really well. And so she's like, "You got to come to the Vanguard. We need more people writing." And it's been history since then. And honestly, they're amazing people to work with. So I'm glad to be a part of that. And so, as we're talking about this, and leadership, Vana, do you want to take this question away?
All right. So the first question we have for you guys is, what's your vision for this newspaper for the fall semester? What changes or improvements would you want to make?
Ooh, I feel like with the 2 of us stepping into this role, we started to do a lot of work since the spring semester ended, like over the summer, trying to kind of work on new things, because we felt like the 2 of us now stepping into leadership, it feels like a new era. Yeah. I feel like a lot of what was happening before was definitely under like great leadership, and I feel like we were kind of stepping in as like newbies, and like we didn't have the guidance of like Paulina or Kate anymore.
No.
Like the access wasn't so close. Like of course we still reach out to them as often as we can, but it's not like I could turn and be like, "So hey Paulina, like I have a question." So now it's like the both of us have like kind of discussed like our own ideas. We did a lot of work over the summer, like working on a handbook. We really thought about like, what does a role look like? What does it mean to be a section editor? We did check-ins like with our staff. We wanted to make sure that everyone coming in definitely felt comfortable, but like ready to really take on the role and ready to work with us, because it's really weird to kind of be in power over people that you've been friends with and working with for so long. So now I'm kind of like, hey, like I know I was like your coworker, but now I'm like your manager. So I'm like, do you like, how are we going to work together? How is this going to flow? Yeah. So I think we did a lot of work before the semester even started to really kind of make sure that we as a team, everyone involved kind of had a sense of like, this is the work that we do and we care about the work so deeply and we want to make sure that everyone across the board cares as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Expanding off of that, the big thing that Jaida and I wanted to do going into the semester was that exact idea of expanding communication, expanding. For example, when it came to the writing guides, I saw that we had so many. I was like, Jaida, why don't we just write it all in a handbook? And so we did 42 pages of a handbook. When I was thinking about, okay, Jaida, how can we get to talking to every single one of our e-board members, we were thinking about, why don't we have meetings with every single one of our staff members and we go from there. That idea of expanding is what is really, really important to us. We already had such strong foundations given to us by editor-in-chiefs and leaders of the past. So it was just about giving what was given to us and just amplifying it tenfold as much as possible.
So next question for you guys is, how do you decide which stories are worth publishing?
So I can take this one. So that's a great question. So the main thing that we do before anything else is that we'll start putting out to our staff writers and our staffers that like, hey, we have this event coming up. We have this amount of space left in the piece, and we'll circle through. Sometimes it will be Brooklyn College related events, Brooklyn related events, New York City events that we get invited to. And we'll go from there. And it gets really exciting, honestly speaking, because it's like we love seeing that budget filled up. We love seeing how much we can do in the Vanguard. Now, there are times where sometimes we will have a piece that maybe needs more work, that maybe has a really strong thesis with a really great idea, but it needs more time to be fleshed out. It can't be rushed into it so much. That is where the question comes in, that is, okay, do we leave this piece as is, or do we pull a few more all-nighters to get this piece done, or do we give it the time that the piece deserves? We'll push the piece down to the next week and we'll continue working. Jaida and I have experienced this a lot this semester because we have a lot of new staffers coming in. We're very grateful for every single person who comes in and wants to try something new with the Vanguard, especially when it comes to writing, of course. So when it comes to new staffers who are not 100% familiar or not 100%... just not 100% familiar with the writing that we provide, that is where we provide the handbook. That is where we provide our own personal one-on-one assistance. But sometimes some pieces just need more work than others, and there's no shame in that. There's no decay in that. If anything, we're excited to be able to keep working with you for more one-on-one work so that, 1, you can hone your skills. 2, we can learn more about you as a writer. 3, we can provide more help to you on the piece. And 4, we can give you the energy that you deserve. So when it comes to deciding what pieces will make it and what pieces will not make it, it is a mix of what is given to us, what we find, and what last minute decisions we need to make.
Yeah. I agree with everything that was said. There's also just levels of like relevance and like timeliness. We definitely think about like what has happened over the week, what is most important, especially because we are a college newspaper. So we always kind of have to put the Brooklyn College community, the students, the staff first. Like, what is it that they would want to hear? But there's also stories that come up like very last minute, and we're like, this is super important. So we find a way to like fit it in. I mean, last semester we ended off with a bang. We had a really big story from the protest that happened on campus, and I feel like I helped work on that story, and there was a long process to put that together. And I feel like that came so late when we were doing the last issue that there was a decision made that this story needed to go in now. It needed to have its spot. So there are just like some stories that come in that we're like, nah, this has to be here. But it's I would say an overall level of like what serves the community best. And then also thinking about the writing process. Is the story ready to be seen by the public?
Yeah, and I just want to add on to that. A lot of times we'll get pitches from people for news pieces or for features pieces about events that are long way from home, whether it's events that are not even in New York City. Sometimes there'll be events that are online. Sometimes there'll be big conventions. Something, if you are a hopeful writer, hopefully for the Vanguard, and you are thinking about how to write a Vanguard piece, your main question should be, how does this relate to Brooklyn College students? How does this relate to Brooklyn College students in a news sense, in an artistic sense, in an opinions-based sense? Each section has its own little falsities, all these little unique details that really make the section so unique and so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so when you're trying to figure out, okay, how can I relate to Brooklyn College students, there's a lot of really diverse ways that you can dive into every single section and make it related to Brooklyn College students. But it's about putting in that effort from the start to make it related. It's an interesting process.
Of course. And now we're talking about like just the overall process. And, you know, I also want to ask a question. I think the hardest thing is the timeline. Can you guys walk us through like the breakdown of what the week looks like? How does the issue pop out?
Yeah, I could walk us through that. So we have weekly meetings every Thursday, but the kind
Pull up.
of works pull up to the meeting.
Roosevelt 118.
But the work kind of really starts way before the meeting. I guess let's visualize issue
Yes,
one.
go ahead.
I guess we would really start the beginning of the week, Sunday, Monday, sending events, seeing what's happening during the week. And that would be kind of like for features, arts, just like thinking about what happens on campus. And we're working throughout the week, filling the budget. I tend to take the brunt of the work, looking ahead to the next budget to fill it up as we finish the prior issue. News events, they tend to kind of pop up. We rely on like our news editor to bring us stories. Our WhatsApp is very active, so people are always sharing things in there. So that's kind of how news stories get pitched. Opinion stories, people are always coming to us when an opinion's pitched, so those tend to come up throughout the week. And sports, usually sports tends to be our recaps, but we've been doing pretty good on expanding it by doing like profiles and sports opinions, so that's been fun. So really throughout the week we focus on booking writers for a features event or an arts event. So they work on that throughout the week, and obviously we'll be doing check-ins with writers, making sure they're good. Thursday, we do our official meetings where we go over our budget, which is just how we plan out what the issue looks like. Why it's called a budget, I don't know. I still don't know. It was like that since I got here, so I'm going to just keep using the lingo. But we go over our budget every Thursday just to check in with everyone, make sure everyone's clear on what's happening this issue. They're working through Friday. Our deadline is Saturday night, 8 p.m. Strictly Saturday night, 8 p.m. And between Saturday, Sunday, I would say even up to Monday morning, early afternoon, me and Rami are working on edits. And we send edits back to the writers. They work on their pieces. We start locking pieces come Tuesday. And throughout that time, I would say between Sunday and Tuesday, we start working on our layout, what the print version looks like, and we hopefully work to publish by Wednesday, Thursday. So it definitely is a lot that happens if you think about it in like the span of 1 week or even a week and a half.
Yeah.
But you also have to take into account that across the week and a half that it takes to do one issue, you start the next issue. So it's really like we're moving.
Yeah.
And imagine that's the goal. That's the goal. That is what we want to happen. So far, we're on issue. We're working on issue 5 right now. Thank
issue
you.
6 is in
So yeah, and issue 6 is currently being developed. We have unfortunately experienced many delays where we can't meet our marks on the days that we want to 100%. And unfortunately,
that actually goes. Sorry to cut you out. That goes great into the next question.
What is that?
How do you guys deal with deadlines?
Oh, Miss Nunn. Oh, Miss Nunn.
No. It sounds like it's rough because it's like you have basically not even there's hours. You have hours in between each day, and you're supposed to basically get this all done before you print.
Yeah.
What happens?
I'm gonna say one thing. We are a student-run organization. We have a faculty advisor, the Dr. MJ Robinson. She's fabulous, of course. But we run pretty much our own things. We put our own deadlines onto us. It is very difficult to create standards and expectations for yourself and for your team and have 30 plus people at all times come into every single deadline you pose. It's where you have one person who is unfortunately not feeling well. Then you have another person who is experiencing problems getting their quotes. Then you have another person who's having difficulty writing. Then you have another person who has a personal problem they need to attend to. And every single week, you never know what's going to happen. So every single week, you just have to be anticipated. You have to be ready for anything that we can throw at you. And I think that's really important to note when it comes to reaching these deadlines is the fact that since you don't know what's going to be thrown at you, you have to be prepared for everything. Make sure that once you get those first round of pieces in, you're editing them fast, because you don't know if that last piece that gets submitted to you is a piece that needs a lot of work and a lot of dedication. The work when it comes to the work that we have to put in to make sure to reach all of our deadlines is one that is, although put onto us by ourselves, it is still just as important as any professor putting a deadline on any of their students. If anything, stricter. Because the problem is if we are diluted in one of our deadlines, if we do not reach one of our deadlines, that pushes us back. If we don't print and if we don't finish the piece, if we don't finish an issue by Wednesday and send it to printer by Wednesday evening, then that means we won't get it in print until Thursday evening.
Everyone's
Friday
off campus at that
morning.
point.
Everybody's off campus at that point. Then you have to be the one to come back onto campus. Somebody has to distribute. Now, distribution is uneven, and it just becomes a ripple effect, because now that you are still off, for example, if you submitted that piece in now Thursday, now you have to hyper focus on that next one and then the next one, and you have to go, and it's a domino effect. And the biggest problem with that domino effect is that, you know what, when it's rolling and the dominoes are falling, you can try picking up as many as you can. They're still gonna fall. And so that's the thing about, I'm sure other club leaders can relate to this. I'm sure anybody who's been a leader of literally any team can relate to this.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen with your team at all. So you have to be prepared for everything. And that sounds a little extra, I'll admit. My favorite quote from any Marvel movie, this is a little random. My favorite quote from a Marvel movie is from Thor Ragnarok, a top 3 Marvel movie. And it is between Thor and Hela right before they started their big climax fight, and Hela was like, do you remember what father always used to say? And Thor said, a king, something along the lines of, a king must never ask for war, but he must always be ready for it. And you know what, we are not doing any war in the Vanguard office. Closest thing to a war is the war with Grammarly. But when it comes to what we have to do as leaders of an organization, we do have to be prepared for everything. We do have to have pieces on standby. We do have to be on our A game. We do have to be on our A game. And I don't think that many people who are not club leaders understand how much work goes into being a club leader for any club across any single school. And especially as a publication like ourselves, when it comes to reaching those deadlines, it is unfortunate when they are not met because we put them onto ourselves. And when you don't meet the own goals that you set for yourself, you get a lot of really negative feelings that swirl around your brain. And a lot of times it's not directly your fault, but as the leader of an organization, it is though.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
That's always the case. I understand that completely.
So that's the big thing when it comes to reaching deadlines. Jaida and I, we will always vouch for our writers. We will always advocate for them and say, look, if you have a time, you need a second, you need a day, take it. Live your best life. Live your truth. But always remember that you are a part of a Vanguard machine almost.
Yeah.
And if your wheel is not turning the same time as everybody else, then we're not going to get this all done. And that is when it gets a little bit on the distracting, unfortunate side.
Yeah, of course. And I actually have for you here the quote that you just spoke about. A wise king never seeks out war, but he must always be ready for it.
Diva.
You were close. You had it.
Yeah, thank you.
Right there, missing just a few
It was
words.
Kate Blanchett delivering that line at the end, but he must always be ready for it. Literal life-changing.
That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for answering, and that was a really good answer. I really liked it, and I hope that the listeners liked it as well.
All right. Our next question for you is, how do you respond to criticism, especially in a leadership role, like editor-in-chief and then managing editor?
Criticism how?
I think constructive criticism.
Yeah,
because hey, we're in leadership positions.
Yeah.
I get this a lot.
Yeah.
There's some people that got a lot of sass, a lot of comments.
Yeah,
but
someone's
you
not
have the
gonna,
negative part, you have the constructive part.
Yeah.
Why don't you answer both?
Yeah.
You might have not experienced either yet.
I
but
guess
how do you navigate that?
for me, being a new club leader, I mean, you've been like in a leadership position
I'm
since last
old.
semester. You're old. You've been in there. I think for me, I've been trying to work on the balance of like, how do I work with people who have been my peers for so long? It's a really interesting dynamic to like actually be above someone that you've been on the same level with for so long. Like it's like super weird to like actually like be someone's manager when you were their coworker for so long. And it's a weird balance of like friendship, but also I'm kind of your boss and I'm going to tell you things and we're going to have to like communicate in a certain manner. But I think we haven't navigated too many situations where we've gotten like crazy criticism.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of really learning to like uphold what was already set before us, but also still be able to create and still make it new. And I feel like we've been doing well so far that we haven't gotten like any crazy pushback from like anyone. But I do think that there's a level of like criticism like outwardly, like us as a newspaper, like we get those notifications from Dateline. CUNY Dateline be reposting us. So
Yeah.
I know that people
Thank you,
love
CUNY
us.
Dateline.
Like, I know that people love us, but I think
Yes.
internally, like as a staff, I think we've been doing pretty well. I think there's a lot of like, obviously there's things that we know that we can grow on,
Yeah.
but we've been kind of like figuring out how to work as a team.
Of
How do we
course.
collectively like, how do I approach you and
Yes.
say like, hey friend, you've been slacking off a little bit.
Yeah, that's the hardest
hey,
thing.
it's a really hard thing, but I think we've been trying to figure out what that balance looks like and really feel like what it means to be a club leader in this space is to also like, I'm a person. Like, I'm a person. I'm leading this organization. I have to balance being a student. I have to balance doing this. I have to balance doing my home life. So it's really complex and it's a lot of layers.
Yeah. So I agree 100%. Jaida really focused on a lot of the internal factors. We also experience a lot of external pushback, unfortunately, from a lot of different routes of places. Sometimes it is we will publish a piece and we'll get a little email saying, hey, divas, we're really curious about why you put X, Y, and Z, and we have to talk to them about it. I will say the most outlandish one is we received a multi-body paragraph essay of a hate mail, pure
The subject
hate
literally
mail.
said hate mail, yo.
They
It
made
did.
the email
They
address.
they try to read issue 1 to filth, yo.
The
Oh
email
my
address was really
God.
this is not hate mail @gmail.com, something like that.
Oh my God,
And they
I've heard of
would
this
it was a
email.
mix, and the email was a mix of satirical point of views, like how, for example, like in volleyball there's something like a kill shot or something, and they were like, I can't believe the women's volleyball killed 14 people, and it's just like, that's not what we meant.
My
But on
favorite
top of-
one was literally Serena's Love Island piece was in there. And the person was like, you know how in Love Island when they have the bombshells come in?
Yeah.
The person in the email was like, but if like a bomb hit the villa, like how would they like survive and everything? No, it started to get like a lot more funny when
And
I
so-
realized that I'm like, you ain't even making sense for real.
And so, see, that's the thing, though. Like, we experience a lot of things in the Vanguard. There's some
Yeah.
stuff where you just have to look at and laugh. There's something. There's, of course, did I hyper fixate on that email for like 3 days? I read that like it was the Bible and I was a sinner. Like, I was dedicated to it because I wanted to know. Like, I wanted to know why this person would take. You had to make an email address, read the issue in its entirety, every single issue. Then you had to make up the satirical jokes.
Yeah.
This is not something that you do in a day or a few hours.
There would be a sick
In another
staff writer.
world, I would hire you if you were kinder enough. But it gets to a point where there's only so much that you can do. Christina Yang from Grey's Anatomy was only so talented from the work that she put out into the world, but she couldn't become a real doctor until she learned to work with other people and use her talent talents. It's the same way with everything else. You are so talented at pushing so much critique and edit so many different works. But if you're going to use that for such hatred, for just such having the gall, the cheekbone, the audacity even to say certain things like this, it gets very offensive at times. And so, you know what, as two club leaders dealing with internal and external criticisms, and they're healthy criticisms, of course, there's nobody that's been like, burn the witch, but it's like, we do what we have to do.
Yes.
But as two club leaders dealing with that, the best thing to do is just take what's that one quote from Shirley Ralph? People have thrown dirt on my name, and then others have thrown something, and then I'm just gonna stop saying quotes, you guys.
References.
That's the third quote.
No,
It's
you
the
got
quote though.
references.
It's the quote though. Like, it was like, some people have thrown dirt on my name, others have thrown water. It's all a garden to me, something like that. But it's
Ooh.
exactly that
Damn.
though. Yeah, search up that quote.
Fact
It's
check. So check that.
search up Cheryl Lee Ralph. It's all a garden to me. And that's what it means, though, to be a club leader. It's just balancing all the criticism you get, whether positive, negative, from past editor-in-chiefs, from staff writers, even from strange, random people on the internet, you know?
Ooh.
And that is what we experience. Yes, so what is the quote, Yasir?
People have thrown dirt on my name. Others have given flowers, but it's all a garden to me.
Cheryl Lee Ralph, I love you. Thank you.
Yeah, but I don't know who that is. That is Miss Abbott Elementary.
Yes, my
And
Watching
the-
the new season.
I did not, unfortunately. Did you watch the
And
show?
you're a teacher.
Okay, and when was the last time you watched Grey's Anatomy, Yasir and Mia?
3 weeks ago, something like that.
I have never watched a single episode.
Oh, wait, you're actually missing out on like
Me
some
neither.
beautiful,
TikTok.
beautiful. Mm. Mm.
You know what he put the
So this
clips
interview
up.
is done. Have a wonderful day.
Bye,
everyone.
everybody. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Last question, and then we'll move on to our segment.
All right, last question. How has this role impacted you in your everyday life?
I have no sleep schedule. I have no free time now. Jaida?
It is my everyday life.
Yeah.
I am never not managing editor of the Vanguard. I definitely it's a lot more like time in the day that I devote to this. Like, I feel like every day I do something Vanguard related, whether like I think about it or not. But I also think that because this is my field, this is my industry, it's not like I'm like tired of it, or like I'm starting to dislike it. I think it actually like makes me feel stronger about what it is that I want to do, because this is so much like a real newsroom, and I have fallen in love with the process. I would feel like the only pain point is that I experience so much journalism in my day. Like, I run a newspaper, and then I go to my journalism class, and then wait, I gotta go like cover an event for like one of my classworks, and I gotta do this and I gotta do that. But I think it's like a fun balance of it all, because this is like my life. I tell my mom all the time, I'll come home and talk about like politics, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, like, if I'm boring you with this. I just feel like I can't escape the news. Like, once you're in it, like, you can't escape the news. Like, you're always looking at a current event. I'm always like seeing something. I'm like, and what would that look like as a story? And what are her sources? Now I'm critiquing the New York Times like I know things. Like, help. I'm gonna start writing the reviews, the exposés, because I'm like, I am that girl. But I definitely, it's a work in progress to really find balance. I think it's a very fine line that I'm
Yes.
walking as being both a club leader and a student, and just kind of navigating every day. But I feel like it only gets better with time. So
Yeah.
the great lock-in will occur
Yes.
pending spring 2026. I'll be much better, but yeah.
Love that.
I definitely agree. I want to tackle the question on from a different point of view, if that's okay. This role has meant a lot to me for a ton of different reasons. But the main thing is that, not the main thing, of course, but one of the main things is that it's given me some lifelong memories and people who I'll never forget. So, and I really just want to take this moment to just shine a light on how amazing Jaida is. I feel like a lot of times when it comes to Jaida, she's the type of woman that you can't say something to her and she'll be like, Rami, that's a stupid idea. We're not doing that. You tell her something and she's like, that might be a stupid idea, but let me work on it. And we're going to make it into a good
I'll find a
idea.
way.
And the thing about Jaida is that I don't think I'll ever think about Brooklyn College and not think of her. I don't think I'll ever look at the newspaper and not go Jaida Dent.
So
I don't think I'll ever. I'm so sorry.
no,
But it's
no,
like
go
I
ahead,
don't
keep
think
going.
I'll ever look at like a positive experience in Brooklyn College and Jaida not being that memory. Like I think that's the thing that comes to college I was really nervous about, is not finding a person that I could count on, not finding somebody who I could call like a school best friend almost. But when I look at Jaida, when I experience Jaida, when I walk into the room and I get hi Gorge, when I get a phone call from her and she's like, hi Diva, you ready to edit these pieces? Even if it's just like a little conversation where we get sidetracked, like I'll never not be grateful for the beauty that is Miss Dent. And I think that's something that I'm really, really grateful for. So thank you, Jaida Gorge. Love you, Gorge. But
Crying
Yo,
on the
I
podcast.
swear, we're all leaving next semester.
no, you're not.
Yeah,
I'm
so
doing
that
something to your
party-
transcripts.
that party-
Congratulations.
that party better be fire.
Bittersweet.
But
It's going to be really bittersweet,
of
honestly.
course.
It
But
really
yeah,
is.
so even on that topic though, like the reason why the Vanguard will always mean so much to me is because of the relationships that brought me. I am, just like Jaida said, I study childhood education. Journalism has no place in my future career, unfortunately.
Me too.
But leadership does, social skills does, public speaking does, working with people absolutely. And so the skills that you can take from this, it's like it's very similar to what I'm learning right now, funny enough, in like in my literacy class, where it's like reading comprehension, where it's like when you comprehend a text, you can take the knowledge of it and apply it to something else. I'm comprehending everything from the Vanguard and applying it to everything outside of what I'm doing outside my field. I don't know if one day I'm going to be applying and be on the red carpet and be like, I am Rami Mansi and here's my reviews from the Met Gala. Obviously, Anna Wintour, if you're listening to this, I would kill. You do not have to pay me. You do not have to dress me. I will do it all myself. Just get me the microphone and the
Call
camera.
us Anna.
Call me Miss Wintour. And so, it does take a lot, though, to dedicate yourself to something that is going to end eventually, unfortunately. And, I've thought about it a lot. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just here for the good times. I never joined the Vanguard thinking I need to get a paycheck. Or, like, I never joined the Vanguard thinking I need to do this for my school. Ever since I was in elementary school, I've been a library rat. Ever since elementary school, I've done stuff because I know that I can do more and I can be helping more people. And so I know that when I joined the Vanguard, especially in this role, I knew my first goal beyond anything else was to help the people that needed help, just like I needed help growing up,
Yeah.
And that's why I'm becoming a teacher. That's why I love being a student journalist. I love saying that I'm a student journalist. I'm very, very blessed to be in the position that I am in, to be an editor-in-chief with not only a loving managing editor and a lovely podcast manager and a lovely podcast team, but also like a lovely surrounding of amazing, hardworking individuals.
Yeah.
And if I didn't want anything else from this college hard experience except a good GPA and my degree, then yeah, it was to find a good group of people where I will look back on and say, oh yeah, that was a fun time, wasn't it? So yeah.
That's amazing. And thank you so much for coming here and spreading some wisdom into the world.
Always.
The quotes and everything was just amazing. Thank you for that. And I also want to thank my podcast team.
Yeah,
They're great individuals.
Yes.
So I am so thankful you guys give us some time out of your day. And before we head off, we have a fun little segment. And Mia, what is it? Mia Blue 24. Mia Blue 24
Okay.
is going to take it away.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. So Mia, take it away.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We're going to play a fun game called Guess That Song.
Ooh.
So last week we had Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Mm-hmm.
Change it up a little bit. Guess the song.
Okay.
So Yasir and Vaughn are next to me. I need you guys to turn away so I can play the songs because I don't want you guys to see. Sorry, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
So same concept as last time. I'm going to play the first maybe 3 to 4 seconds of a song. But I want you guys, when you answer, if you know it, I want you guys to be really give me the energy.
Do I gotta raise my hand and respond? What's the? Oh, I just jump in.
Jump in, don't worry.
Just jump in. Yeah.
Last
jump
episode,
in?
y'all,
Okay.
it was all blue. I had to bring out the decibels. Don't worry about it.
So
And
these are
stage
just,
you can hop into.
These are
Okay.
random songs that I feel like everybody would know, but a few
Okay.
Niche ones.
6,
we see the
7.
vision.
So
I'm nervous.
okay. First song.
Wait, let me increase the volume for that.
Okay. I'll put it to the mic. Ready, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2.
Rami, Garden of Eden, Lady Gaga.
Yo, wait a minute. Hold on.
That's Shazam. That's Shazam right there.
in the
I
corner.
just listened to this.
Oh
I just
my
listened to the song this morning. It's phenomenal. Yeah, I love.
Didn't even get a
Garden of
lyric.
Garden of Eden.
Wow, he got that. Definitely.
That was crazy. That was great. That was so quick.
I love
Like half
it.
the songs, it's like you have to know the first like 2 seconds of the
Yeah.
instruments
Yeah.
to really get it.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm in it now.
Yeah, we locked
Okay.
in.
I'm not
Okay.
winning this at all. Like that was just too quick for me. I was like, wait, hold on.
Okay, this one
Yeah.
I'll do like the first like 5 seconds. I'll put it a little louder this time.
Oh. You got it.
No, you gotta say your name. You gotta say your name.
10.
Name. Oh my god.
I'm counting. Wait.
Oh.
If you guys could see what I'm
Oh
seeing
my
right now,
God.
Vanna is stressing.
Oh,
listen. Okay. Thinking.
Money Trees, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
See,
If
do
I
not
was,
doubt yourself, Diva.
It's a game.
I know. Oh, what? I can't clap.
No, you can hop in, girl. This is your
if I
time.
wasn't able to get that question right, I
Yeah.
feel like my black card would have
I
been
felt like
taken.
I felt like you need. No,
Like-
I hesitated because I felt like you needed that, and I said, "No, you got it."
I see her.
No, because I looked
She's
up. I
levitating.
looked up and I saw Vanna, and I was like, "Vanna, you got this. You look. We see each other. Okay, okay."
Next song.
Okay, next song. I added like 2 more because I feel like this is going a little quick. Okay.
Oh, Watermelon. What is it? Watermelon by Harry Styles.
Wrong.
Oh
You
no.
lost me with the
I'll give you a few more seconds.
I know it's Harry Styles, but I don't know which song it
I
is.
don't know this song.
Ooh,
Oh,
Adore You.
Yeah.
damn it.
Oh,
I had to
then-
sing it. I had to sing it in my head. I was like,
Me too.
Look at you. Okay.
okay, period.
Wait, that, Diva.
Okay, Vanna's winning with 2 points. Wait, no one's looking at my phone, right?
No,
Okay,
nobody's
great.
You
looking.
should
I'm like
right
this.
there in your corner.
No, I'm like this the whole time. I'm like,
Okay, okay,
I'm
okay.
like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll attest Vanna was not looking.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Okay.
I'll say it for the pod.
This one's pretty easy.
Oh.
Don't say it's easy and that's going to be like the most niche
No, it's
song.
not. I promise. I promise. Okay, ready? It's literally you'll know in the first second.
Okay. Rami. Red Wine Supernova,
Yeah.
Chapo Rowan.
You said that was easy.
Excuse me, ma'am.
What? Hold on, wait.
Excuse me, Miss
Hold
Ma'am.
on.
It's Blue
One-
Sky
I
24.
got
Well, it was
one
easy to me.
guitar
That
strum.
was-
that was only one
G, like
chord.
one G guitar strum. Like what the fuck?
I feel like you. It's not.
She
I don't
was
know.
Keep going.
Red
Keep
Wine
going. You lost all of us.
Bardo.
Okay. Okay. Easy, guys.
Ooh. Nicki Minaj.
Oh,
Moment for Life.
yeah, you got that. You got that.
You're quick with
God.
this. Scares me.
No, die.
Wish
Don't
that
worry about
I
me
got
and who
this
I
moment.
fire. I get what I desire. It's
That's
my
my
empire.
Woo.
You're
Well,
so-
everybody.
Who won that? Who won that?
Obviously you.
girl.
Girl, obviously you.
Girl.
Congratulations.
I
everybody.
listen to all genres of music, guys. Like I know my thing, even country. Yup.
Well,
Howdy, y'all.
thank you everybody for coming in today. We're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. We'll see you in the next one. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.